Do you think fans can hope that he'll appear in the Mall TV series that was just announced?
I think you're going to have to stay tuned because Hondo's not done yet.
Well, hello, I'm Russ Milheim from The Direct. Dude, your work is awesome, and there's so many things you're known for. The first thing I want to ask, though, is in recent years, some new audiences are discovering Winnie the Pooh through the very gory and violent Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. There's like B-horror movies that take these characters and introduce them in new ways. So then my question is, what do you think about this beloved character, being brought to life in such a mature manner for different interpretations?
Well, mature is a strong word. I'm not sure that I'd go along with that part. It's I don't really have an opinion of it. I saw about 10 seconds of it, and I think somebody always enjoys tearing down and stepping on somebody else's dreams and something that they love. And there's it's kind of like the art movement out there. You've seen certain disgusting displays of things that people are calling art, and I don't know. I don't give it much credence. I don't give it much credit. It's easy to throw rocks than it is to carve out the Pieta.
Yeah. You also brought Hondo to life, who I love, a wonderful Star Wars character. What can you tease about his future? And then hypothetically, just for you, what would you love to explore with the character that you haven't been able to do yet?
Well, there's a game coming out, and there's called Outlaws, and Hondo will be there. And he's actually, I'm glad you brought him up. He's one of my favorites because he's a lovable rogue. You could actually trust him to, he looks out for Ezra, and he looks out for the younglings, as they call them, and he won't do anything to harm anybody, but I wouldn't want to play cards with him.
Yeah. Do you think fans can hope that he'll appear in the Mall TV series that was just announced?
I think you're going to have to stay tuned because Hondo's not done yet.
Ooh, we got to wink. All right, very last question for you. Disney villains are all the rage. They continually burst through the pop culture zeitgeist consistently and all the time. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, I can say that bad guys always look like they're having a lot of fun. The heroes oftentimes are kind of like one note or what have you, but bad guys are devious and they're thinking and they're conniving, and they're fun to watch. And I was talking with Andreas Deja a while ago, and he likes villains too. He likes drawing villains because they're mysterious. And like I say, I wouldn't want to play cards with them, but
Yeah. Well, sir, thank you so much, and it was great talking to you.
Same here.
You're kind of a big deal. You created some iconic characters. My first question is: Disney villains are all the rage, many times quite literally. What do you feel has been the key to their success and ability to penetrate the cultural zeitgeist so deeply and so consistently as well?
I think the thing about villains, about any villain, they have to be interesting. You have to go beyond evil and just being bad. We did that on the first Disney film that I worked on, which was The Black Cauldron. Not a big hit at the time. The Horn King was just slapping characters around. He was just evil. There was just really nothing interesting about him. You have to find maybe flaws, weird interests. Maybe they have a sidekick. You have to create a full personality with a villain. And I think we did that, and we also did this in a modern way. I mean, the classics will always be great, whether it's Captain Hook or Stromboli in Pinocchio. Those will always be great. But I think, at least audiences tell me this, that when they see Gaston, they identify with him because they know people like that. And I have to say, too, in creating Gaston, doing some research, he is so into himself and so arrogant. And, of course, the bodybuilder he is, you see those guys at the gym in L.A., looking in the mirror, looking good, So I got my research from present-day people that I meet at the gym.
Yeah. Now, as someone that helped bring, to life so many big villains, they announced a villain area in Disney World, Disneyland. What would you love to see, included in those areas, hypothetically?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I've been a consultant on that project.
Ooh, okay. So still hypothetically, unless you want to, if you can offer any actual vague teases.
It's going to be absolutely amazing because how would you not be interested in a whole land that deals with villains? We got the princesses, right? Those are still rolling and doing really well for the girls. But something with villains, and some of my villains are included, that's absolutely crazy. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. Is there any one villain you can tease?
Well, like I said, some of my villains are in there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, sir, and it was great talking to you.
Same here, thanks.
Disney villains are all the rage, many times quite literally. What do you feel has been the key to their success and ability to penetrate the cultural zeitgeist so deeply and consistently?
Well, you know, having that Disney name behind them and those great Disney stories helps. But in working on these films, is I was a story artist on Hercules, and so, you know, we got to create the stories and, you know, hopefully did a good job. But generally these villains are a one-trick pony. They're very selfish. They only wanted the world to turn out for them. And so working on Scar or Jafar, they had really strong personalities. In fact, more flamboyant than the heroes, right? And because, you know, we can be evil without actually being evil as an artist, we just get to pretend. It was a lot of fun to make them be a bit silly in their pursuit of their goals.
Now, last question for you. They announced the Disney Villain Land for Disney World. In your mind, what do you really want to see there?
That's a good question. I don't know what to expect out of the Disney Villain Land. I just hope it's not going to be all dark and ugly. You know, like maybe Harry Potter's world might be. But that at least there's some brightness and color to it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can that I expect.
What's your favorite villain that if they were in that theme park, you'd be like, absolutely, that's the one person I want to just show up?
Well, I can tell you as an artist in the Middle Eastern style, I'd love to see that portrayed with Jafar. Because with Scar, it would just be a wasteland. Yeah. And that's no fun.
Well, sir, thank you again. It was great talking to you.